Hi, my name is Tony Hsu. I'm a game producer for StarCraft 2. My daily duties are just more so in looking at StarCraft as a franchise and making sure that we're hitting all the different goals and we're hitting the milestones and just making sure that everyone on the team knows what they're doing and making sure that we're putting out the best game possible.
My name is David Sum. I am a game designer. I work primarily on the campaign on the system side, so I work on unit upgrades, unit balance and design, and Kerrigan and her upgrades and powers. I've also worked on some AI features, AI communication and command, and I have also worked on the new training mode. Yeah, so one of the things that we've tried to teach players is kind of help them transition from single player campaign, or maybe they're new to StarCraft. So we have this new training mode that is not a tutorial. So it's not going to teach you how to select units or scroll the camera or anything on that level. It's also not teaching very specific micro abilities like how to force field. Like that stuff is left to Wings of Liberty challenges and maybe StarCraft Master. So what training mode is, it's an objective-based map that kind of gives you suggestions on what you should be doing to kind of like to learn the multiplayer pacing. So it's giving you objectives like you need more barracks, or it's giving you warnings that you're getting supply blocked. It's telling you to spawn larvae. And it's generally giving you hints and suggestions on what you want to do. So it should help players learn kind of how multiplayer feels different from campaign. And it should have, since it has a bunch of reminders and stuff, it should be useful for all levels of players. So if you're very casual and you're just learning to maybe even platinum and diamond. Like I'm a diamond / platinum player, and I've learned a lot even just working on it. Like it's helped me remember to make army upgrades and stuff, which I was forgetting a lot. So the advantage I have over David Kim is that since I work on campaign, I get to make everything overpowered, which is one of the Blizzard design values, is to make everything feel super strong. And I actually get to make everything super strong, right? So one of the popular strategies in Wings of Liberty multiplayer was for people to load banelings into overlords and then fly them over the enemy armies and drop them, right? So it was really gratifying seeing that. But a lot of people were having trouble actually doing that because pros could do it, but you couldn't do it yourself. So one of the things, one of the upgrades that we have, banelings that can leap onto the enemy. So it's very simple to use, and it's very gratifying to see your banelings just splash everything. So that's definitely one of the things that we get to do, which is make everything super strong. Like the art is amazing, the sounds are amazing, the animations look great, and you actually get to feel very powerful using the units.
So one of the great things about being able to work on Wings of Liberty and also, moving on to Heart of the Swarm is we get to work with the same people first and foremost, and getting Wings of Liberty out there. We get feedback from the fans. We find out what people like. We find out what they don't like. And what we learned from Wings of Liberty is that, we thought some really cool things were to put a lot of units into the game. Let's give you more choice. Let's give you predators. We'll give you science vessels. We'll give you everything you could ever want. And when we ended up finding out, it's actually a little bit too complicated, for people. That giving you a Firebat versus a Hellion, they both spit fire. What's different about them? And what we really wanted to do with Heart of the Swarm is we really wanted to concentrate that coolness to make sure that, while we're still giving you meaningful choices, that the choices that you're actually making are more important. And even though you have fewer of them, they're ones that you will enjoy. I think, in working with the same campaign team, we've learned how to make missions better. We've, learned how to use the technology. And all in all, I think it makes a much, much better game for Heart of the Swarm. Yeah, so as far as the esports scene goes, I think it's going to be really exciting with the release of Heart of the Swarm. I mean, we've added so many new units to it. We've added so many new tactics to it that, for instance, for the Protoss, you have so many openings now as opposed to just going Pylon, Gateway, and you're making Zealots and Stalkers. You now have the ability that, if you want to open with an early Stargate and then you want to harass with the Oracle, like that's really cool to be opening with that. You also have the ability that you can make a Mothership core and, you can push out with your units and you can recall back. And having so many different options, having new tactics, having new units, I think it's going to be really exciting for the esports scene. I think people are going to love Heart of the Swarm. And I mean, even in looking at the matches last night with Grubby and Stefano and White Rod and Lucifron, I mean, those games were so exciting. I have no doubt people are going to love to swap over to Heart of the Swarm.
So we had a beta, and we had lots of users come and use it and give us great feedback, and we got a lot of great stats. So now that Heart of the Swarm is released, we will be getting much bigger numbers. So we'll have a lot more data to look at, a lot more people trying out new things, new strategies, and looking for imbalances that we'll definitely look at. So now that the world is gotten a chance to play it, we're very eager to see what you guys do with it, what kind of new strategies you'll come up with, and if there are imbalances, we'll work. We're always looking at ways to improve and keep new interesting choices for everyone to play and keep these matches exciting, especially the ones that we saw last night at the Versailles launch.
Yeah, well, so one of the cool things about Heart of the Swarm is that we've added so much new functionality for UI, and as far as the observer mode goes, like, as eSports is growing, we want to definitely make sure that we're supporting it. And, as IEM becomes more popular, as GSL, and in these different tournaments, we really want to put the power in the hand of the tournament makers, because what the audience, wants, and what they want to see. And so having the ability to choose what you want to display, when you want to display it, and how you want to display it, I think is really important, and ultimately I think that'll carry through the audience. It'll make for a better experience. It'll make it easier for people that are new to the game, and to have them understand what is happening and have them get that information very easily in a manner that's easy to read, and it's something that you can choose when you display it. If there's a big battle, you can take all that UI and you can remove it from the screen, and I think it's absolutely great that that functionality is in the hands of the people running the tournament, and they can customize it any which way they want.
What would I change if I had all the money in the world at Blizzard? I don't know that I would change anything. I really enjoy the creative environment that we have. We have the motto of don't release it until it's ready. So that's a luxury that many other companies don't get to employ. So I really feel lucky to be able to work at Blizzard, and just the talent of the people that I get to work with is amazing. So it's a pretty cheesy answer, but I wouldn't change anything. So we know that a balance is the most important thing, right, in eSport, because you want it to be balanced, because everyone wants a fair chance. So we're very aware of when we make changes. We don't try to make huge changes before tournaments, especially. We want to give pro players plenty of time of heads up to know when changes are going in and what the repercussions are, so they do have time to practice. And we're very careful when we make these changes. We don't just make changes just to see what happens. So they're very calculated, and we try to be as responsible as we can, because we know that's their job, and you don't want to just flip it around, make 180 changes before they can have a chance to adapt to it.
Yeah, so in Heart of the Swarm, I think one of the great things for casual players is that, I mean, we have this epic story that tells a story of Sarah Carrigan, that she started out as the Queen of Blades, and she slaughtered just millions of people in the universe, and now she's human again. She's frail, and everyone in the galaxy wants to kill her. And I think for the casual player, we have this amazing story mode that you can look at, rich sets, and you can actually kind of learn what it's like to be the Zerg. That the Zerg are, this alien race that it feels so different. But I think we've done a really good job in humanizing them, and in a way that you can understand, that you can feel, what it's like to be Zerg. You can evolve, you can conquer. And, as far as the campaign missions go as well, we have difficulty settings all the way from casual all the way up to brutal. So the great thing is, as you're playing through the campaign, as you're adapting to these challenges, you can grow along with it. So if you're playing through casual and you find, what, I think I'm a little bit better than I gave myself credit for, the great thing is you can step up the difficulty, and you can move up on normal without having to restart the campaign. So overall, I think that there's a ton of things to offer for a new player who's interested in Heart of the Swarm, and I definitely recommend you try it out.